Hello everyone, surely you already know about this type of fish. A fish related to tuna, it is Indian mackerel, also known as silverback fish. Let's hunt these fish together. Please. The tuna family or tuna family is a family of fish, including mackerel and tuna, and therefore includes many fish species of great economic and commercial importance as well as popular food fish. This family has about 55 species in 15 genera. The name mackerel is a compound word of mackerel and tuna. These fishes have two dorsal fins, each of which can be reduced to notches on the back, and a series of small fins, spikes, between the posterior dorsal and anal fins and the tail. The base of the tail is slender and the caudal fin is strongly divided.
Van virando los dos para cerrar. Hay veces, por ejemplo, si ves que tal, guardo igual de, por ejemplo, de proa no vires. Y empieza a virar un poco Antonio, y de proa no vires, para que a ver si baja un poco más la pared. Hasta que lleguen los mosquetones de aquí, el cierre de los anillos.
¡Ahí queda, pelado, ahí queda! ¡No le metas agua todavía, no le metas!
The size of the species varies widely, from about 20 centimeters in island mackerel to 458 centimeters recorded in northern bluefin tuna. Mackerel and tuna species are generally the carnivorous fish of the ocean, and they are capable of considerable movement speeds. A typical example for this family is the genus Rastralaga, distributed in the tropical waters of the Indian Ocean and the western Pacific Ocean, including Vietnamese waters. In Vietnam, fish are distributed along the coast, at depths from 12 to 100 meters, but mainly concentrated at depths of 25 to 70 meters. Species of this genus often live in large flocks, coming close to shore during the monsoon season. Species commonly found in Vietnam Sea are silverback fish, Rastralaga canagorta, and short-finned silverback fish. Belonging to the silverside fish family, there is also the genus of mackerel, Scoma, often called silverback mackerel. All silverback fish species have great economic value. Note that fishermen in many areas also call the genus Salar, Carangidae family, as silverback fish. In Vietnam, silverback fish is also called three-beast fish by fishermen. People call the three-finger fish a small fish with about 3 fingers folded horizontally, and the type with 3 fingers or more is called silver-cheeked fish. The species closest to them are grouper, silverfish, tuna mackerel, lemmings, mackerel, tuna, virtual fish, porridge fish. Silverfish have an elongated body, slightly flattened on the outside.
Qué rico, chiquillo. Ahí está. Lo que Dios bendice, ¿qué vamos a hacer? Ya, todo va a salir. Lleva arriba el agua. Ay, ay, ay.
In Vietnam, caught silverback fish have a length ranging from 72 to 280 millimeters, with an average of 209 millimeters. The fishing length in different sea areas is also different. In Vung Tau waters it is 72 to 295 millimeters. In Con Dao it is from 62 to 260 millimeters. And in Phan Thiet waters from 135 to 295 millimeters. The length-weight correlation method for silver fish has the form. The silverback fish has a slender tail, with 2 to 3 inches of raised skin on each side. The two consolidate together, after the second consolidation and strengthening of the auxiliary. Their fins lie high, and the fish's lungs are fast and strong, suitable for long-distance migration. Silver tits live in very large groups because this type of fish travels in groups and is not scattered like other marine fish. At night they move like a golden halo under the sea, fishman. Silverfish have clearly identifiable nocturnal migrations. Quality products are used by the highest bottom trawl at dawn, and the rest of the time the top trawl is from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Tit is a type of fish that eats water bubbles or jellyfish. They eat floating animals, crustaceans, small fish. Silverbacks feed mainly on zooplankton and a few phytoplankton. Among zooplankton, Onchia accounts for 39.8%, Copepoda 11.4%, Megalopa larvae 9.4%, etc. Among phytoplankton, 21 varieties of algae account for 89.7%, Cochinodiscus 22. .9%, Nichia 11.2%, etc. The prey-catching intensity of female fish is higher than that of male fish. Immature fish have higher education than adult fish. In Vietnam, silverback fish are caught in 4 age groups, of which the 2-year-old group uses priority and accounts for about 64.4%. Fish of 1-year-old group used 19.7%. Fish in the 3-year-old group use 12.0% and fish in the 4-year-old group use 3.9%. Silverback fish grow very quickly in the first year and reach an average of 113 millimeters. From Monday, the growth rate gradually slows down. The breeding season of silverfish lasts from the end of the dry season, March, to the end of the rainy season, December, with the zodiac in March to June and September to October. The length when the fish first spawns is about range from 140 mm to 200 mm. The appropriate surface water temperature for spawning fish is 26 to 27.5 degrees Celsius and salinity 3.0 to 3.4%. In Vietnam, silverback fish is one of the species that always occupies the leading position in terms of proportion in small floating fish products and is a fish species consumed a lot in the domestic market, not a species only for the community. Coastal populations but also provides animal income for communities in remote, mountainous areas. The yield composition of silverback fish in strengthening fishing nets in coastal areas fluctuates accordingly. For the majority of 3 years of fishing, in the output of the area surrounding Binh Thuan Province, Southeast, and Lingayen, Gulf of Tonkin, used 12.4% and 9.3%. Production and fishing productivity of silverback fish in the 3 sea areas fluctuates greatly depending on the month of fishing. In the waters of the Gulf of Tonkin and the southeast, the months with high silverback fish production are during the northeast monsoon. The total silverfish exploitation output of Sen nets is 4,842 tons per year in the Gulf waters. The northern region, 4,050 tons per year in the central region, and the highest in the southeast is 6,560 tons per year. Division: types of silverback fish products can be determined according to the monsoon season, according to the day-night cycle, and according to the depth range. The most suitable fishing length of silver titfish in the 3 studied sea areas is the group of fish over 2 years old, ranging from 200 to 220 millimeters. In the Central Coast region, to obtain maximum sustainable and effective products. For higher economic results, the current strength should not be exceeded, and for the Southeast Sea, it is necessary to reduce the exploitation force by about 10% compared to the current strength. In the Northern Sea, it is possible to increase exploitation capacity, but the product will not increase significantly. In the Northern Sea, the fishing power of the fleets and the fishing products are relatively high and fluctuate greatly over the months of exploitation. Silverback fish produces energy and high fishing productivity in the months of January, February, March, September, October, November and December. In the Central Coast, the fishing capacity and energy exploitation products of silverback in this sea are similar to those in the Northern Sea, fluctuating greatly over the months of exploitation. The fishing season in this sea is very limited and changes with each year of exploitation and depends mainly on climatic conditions. So there are months when there is no output in the Southeast Sea, like the above sea areas. Fishing productivity and exploitation of silverback fish fluctuates greatly over time. The months of January, February, March, October, November and December are all months with high output and fishing productivity compared to other months. The silverback fish output of the fishery in the above researched waters has fluctuated greatly over the years of exploitation and has tended to decrease. In the Northern Sea, the silverside fish output has been estimated to be 4,190 tons. In 2003, 6,633 tons in 2004 and 3,703 tons in 2005, an average of about 4,842 tons. In the Central Coast region, it was estimated that in 2003 it was 2,904 tons, in 2004 it was 5,428 tons and in 2005 it was 3,818 tons, an average of 4,050 tons. In the Southeast region, silverback fish production is highly contrasting and in 2003 it was 11,511 tons and in 2005 it was only 3,769 tons, an average of 6,560 tons. Density gradually increased from 20 meters to 50 meters depth. Fishing efficiency increased from 0.27 kilograms per hour to 0.83 kilograms per hour. The occurrence frequency, percent, of silverfish in this range was also higher than at other depths. In places with depths greater than 100 meters, it is almost impossible to catch silverbacks with bottom trawls. The depth range at which the bottom group catches silverback fish with the highest efficiency is the depth range of 30 to 50 meters. Through fluctuations in silverback yield in bottom trawls and signals from hydroacoustics, silverbacks are pelagic fish that move vertically overnight. During the day they often lie in deep water layers, and at night they move gradually to the upper water layers. During the northeast monsoon season, the fishing areas with high silverback fish production are mainly concentrated in the waters of the Gulf of Tonkin and the southwest. In the Gulf of Tonkin during this season, due to cold weather, fish are concentrated in the middle. Fly, at a depth of over 50 meters and tends to change direction from north to south. During the southwest monsoon season, around April, the temperature begins to increase, fish are more widely distributed, scattered throughout the sea, and the direction of movement of fish is opposite to the direction of movement in the northeast monsoon season. Fish move in the direction from the east, south to north and into areas closer to the shore to reproduce. Reserves and exploitation capacity. The silverback fish reserve in the Central Coast is 6,270 tons with a maximum solid exploitation capacity of MSY of 4,521 tons. In the Central Sea it is 6,536 tons with MSY of 5,378 tons. In the Southeast Sea it is 6,861 tons with MSY of 5,475 tons. Silverback fish in the Northern Sea with fighting groups with a length of 185 to 295 mm were analyzed into 22 groups with a length distance of 5 mm, of which groups from 220 to 270 mm were used preferentially. The amount of silverback fish in the Northern Sea is determined to be 6,270 tons, equivalent to 58 million fish. The maximum sustainable exploitation capacity, MSY, is 4,521 tons. The identified reserve is 6,536 tons, equivalent to 132 million fish. The maximum sustainable exploitation capacity, MSY, is 5,378 tons. The length group from 100 to 180 mm is a small group of fish that is not suitable for significant exploitation in the total output of 1,222 tons, accounting for 56.9% of the total catch. Southeast waters, The capacity of silverback fish is 6,860 tons, equivalent to 96 million fish. MSY's maximum solid mining capacity is 5,475 tons. Group lengths from 195 to 235 mm are dominant. In Ingayan, the composition of silverback fishing products uses a relatively high proportion, 9.3%, of the total output, second only to Hahnsock fish, 5.7%.